Live from Utah's first TV station. Good Morning Utah at 6:30 starts now.
Good morning, Utah. I'm Sarah Martin.
And I'm Brian Carlson. The time is 6:30 on this Friday.
We begin with Utah Governor Spencer Cox declaring a state of emergency. This comes over concern for a planned siege at our Utah state capitol leading up to the presidential inauguration. Governor Cox released this statement saying, quote, "We respect the right of Utah residents to peaceably assemble as guaranteed in the U.S. Constitution, but we draw the line at threats to physical safety or to the Utah Capitol building. No violence of any kind will be tolerated." The governor has asked the Utah National Guard, the Utah Highway Patrol, and a number of police departments to stand ready to protect the safety of lives and property at Utah's Capitol.
Businesses, people, and government buildings along the path of the Capitol are bracing for those weekend protests. ABC4's Jared Jatiani is live there at the state Capitol, where there is already increased security. Jared.
Brian, the Utah Highway Patrol says the next permitted protest here at the state capitol is on Sunday, and despite no visible barricades outside the state capitol this morning, UHP says they have beefed up in security inside, preparing for potential demonstrations leading up to and following Inauguration Day. UHP and the FBI says the deadly riots at the nation's capital, the reason for taking an abundance of caution. All agencies are preparing for possible armed protest. UHP says it has received credible threats against the Capitol, so they have ramped up security inside. Should troopers need it, SLCPD will be assisting. The city and county building and other government buildings in the path of the Capitol also boarding up their windows. FBI agents say they'll be ready on standby to hit the streets, not to stop folks from protesting, but to make sure people are not breaking the law.
As they identify individuals that violated the law or engaged in violence or incited violence, right? Leads are getting pushed out, and we're following up on those.
Now take a look at this video from over the summer during the Black Lives Matter protests. You can see parts of the Capitol with some damage there, spray painted on the front of the sign. Law enforcement want to prevent this from happening again, and also they want to prevent riots like the ones we saw at the nation's Capitol. Again, back out here live. No visible barricades this morning outside of the state Capitol, but again, UHP and other agencies have beefed up security inside. Hopefully everything stays peaceful, and this increased presence days before inauguration deters people from being violent. Reporting live, Jared Jatiani, ABC4 News.
All right, thank you, Jared. A Utah man is now charged for being part of last week's deadly riot at the U.S. Capitol. Prosecutors used video he recorded of the violence to build their case against them. John Earl Sullivan filmed as pro-Trump rioters stormed through barricades, scaled walls to breach the U.S. Capitol. He says he's an independent journalist and documentarian. He shared the video on YouTube and with the FBI. Sullivan's charges include entering a restricted building or grounds without authority, civil disorder, and violent entry or disorderly conduct.
And the passengers accused of harassing Utah Senator Mitt Romney while traveling from Salt Lake to D.C. are now banned from flying with Delta. They're now part of a total of 880 people on Delta's no-fly list for not complying with things like mask requirements, while others are banned for harassing other passengers or unruly behavior related to U.S. election results. The FAA is also enforcing stricter policies against unruly passengers. In a recent post on Twitter, the FAA announced an executive order from the FAA administrator who is, quote, directing the agency to take strong action against any passenger who disrupts or threatens the safety of a flight, with penalties ranging from fines to jail time. No warnings.
All right, Erica, almost the weekend. Over to you.
Yeah, we do have a really nice start to the weekend on our Friday, but it's a little chillier for some. Logan at 6 degrees, Sarah, Ogden at 25, Salt Lake City 24, upper teens for Provo, and St. George in the mid-30s. St. George, you're going to do so well today. It's going to feel like springtime. You're seeing 60s. Air quality brought to you by UCare. We're seeing some issues for some of us. Notice the yellows here, including Salt Lake County, but Box Elder, let's see, Tooele County, you guys are doing so much better than you were yesterday. yesterday. So looking forward to that, but still have to keep those masks on. That's definitely for your health. And it does help, especially when we're talking about air quality locally. Drive times, US 189 eastbound Provo Canyon to Heber. The normal drive time is 23 minutes. We're at 22. And westbound Heber to Provo Canyon is approximately 23 minutes, which is better than that normal drive time of 25. And I-15 northbound from Provo to SLC currently at 36 minutes.
Time now for Travel Talk.
All right, we've got a major traffic alert for you this morning. 126 South at Bangerter will close for 7 months for a new interchange. Joining me this morning for all the details, John Gleason from UDOT. John, good morning. It feels like it's been a while.
Hey, good morning, Sarah. Yeah, the holidays are behind us. It's back to work.
Yep. Great to see you. So explain the vision for me here. Shutting down a road at Bangerter feels like a big step for 7 months.
It is. This is a big change, and we want to let people know about it. It's happening about a week from now, and so we've got a little bit of time, but we do want to get the word out. We're shutting down traffic, east and west traffic at 126 South, as you mentioned, right at Bangerter Highway, so that we can complete one of these freeway-style interchanges on Bangerter. We've completed 7 of them so far. We have 3 under construction right now and 12 more to go. So, you know, the whole idea here is to make Bangerter much more freeway-like to address all of the growth that we're seeing out here on the western part of the Salt Lake County.
Well, I think for all of us who use Bangerter pretty regularly, we have seen the results of these. They're great when they're finished. They can be a little, hectic to get done. Can you explain for me the decision to shut down 126 completely instead of trying to work around traffic as you have for so many of these interchanges?
Absolutely, Sarah. This is a little bit of a unique design here. It's the Bangerter is going to run under 126 South, and so we've been working very closely with the city and with the businesses there, and this is kind of the plan that they would like us to go with. And so, in order to make it as safe as possible, and it's actually going to shave several months off of the construction, we're just going to do a complete shutdown here. We're asking people to use 114th or any of the other routes along there to get to those businesses and for through traffic there. But this is the best option that we have to make it as safe as possible and to shave off several months of construction here.
Okay, got it. So make it safer, make it take less time. I think we're all on board for that. And as you mentioned, this is just one of 3 interchanges on Bangerter that you're working on this year?
That's right. We also have projects happening on 104 South and 6200 South. And the concept here, Sarah, is that there are traffic lights all along Bangerter, and anytime we can take out some of those traffic signals, you're going to improve the flow of traffic and take away some of those conflict points. So it's a great thing, and as you mentioned, anybody who drives on Bangerter every day, you've seen kind of the results already of the 7 interchanges that have been completed, and just the efficiency and not having to stop at those lights. It's a great thing.
Absolutely. It makes Bangerter so nice to drive on. What's kind of the end date for Bangerter for having all 12 of those done?
Well, we have to secure funding for each of these projects. Right now, the 3 projects that are underway, they're going to be completed at the end of this year, and then we'll move forward with prioritizing and getting the rest of the projects done. It'll be years down the road before we have all of the interchanges completed, but we work and prioritize as we go here.
Nice. All right, John, really quickly before we go, for people who want to make sure that they're up to, if they have day-to-day questions, anything like that, where should they go?
Well, they can download our free UDOT traffic app, and that'll give you all the information on construction projects, weather, anything you want. We just hit 1 million downloads, so we're pretty excited about that.
Nice. Congratulations. I've also signed up for those text alerts. They're great. Would recommend. John Gleason with UDOT, thanks so much for being here. We appreciate you.
Have a great Friday. Thanks, Sarah.
Now we know. The time now 6:40. Coming up on GMU, the aftermath of a snowstorm in Madrid. See how the rare storm is creating a cleanup mess unlike ever before. Plus, a mother bear and her cubs seen roaming around Machu Picchu. Watch how a drop in tourists is now bringing out more wildlife. As we head to the break, here's a nice sparkly shot of downtown Salt Lake. That's our state capital here on a Friday. Your weather on the 4s, including what's in store for the weekend, right after this.